Problem 4, exercise 1311, is another classic decision-making problem you'll be faced with as managers all the time. Do you make something? Do you buy something? And does the cost to make whatever it is you're making really add up to what you think it does? Let's take a look. This company sells lawnmowers and it makes its own engines. It has the opportunity to purchase the engines from a reliable supplier. In other words, there'll be no quality issues, no warranty issues. So, let's take a look at what they're saying the cost of the engines is. This is what they're saying, that the cost to make 20,000 engines is $1,150,000. That's what they're saying. It's not necessarily so. I need to point out a couple of things to you. First of all, the equipment has a book value of $90,000, but its market value is $0. So if we use it, we take depreciation of $42,000. If we stop using it, we just stop taking the depreciation. We can't sell it. We can't do anything with it. It has a market value of $0. It's a sea anchor. There's nothing good about it. Nothing you can do with it. So if that cost goes away, fine. It's not going to make a whole lot of difference. So let's take a look at what we know is going to stay and what's going to keep, okay? So we have to identify which costs can be avoided. Avoidable costs are the relevant costs. And the avoidable cost for the lawnmower engines is clearly the unit level cost, the variable cost per unit, that's $520. That would go away. If we're not making engines, we're not going to be buying pieces to make engines. Likewise, the $400,000 will go away. Because if we're not making engines and we're not buying parts, we don't need anybody to put them together. We're just not going to be able to take that depreciation anymore, so that's not going to be good or bad. It's really irrelevant to the decision. Because if we make the engines, we take the depreciation. If we don't make the engines, we don't take the depreciation, but we can't sell the equipment either. So it really is irrelevant. It doesn't factor in. Supervisor salary. Supervisor's the boss's kid. Making that part up. Do you think that salary is going to go away? Hell no, it's not. And what about the rental cost to make equipment? That's going to go away. Okay? So the cost of the engines will go away. The cost of the labor. The cost of the supervisor. I was only kidding when I said it was the boss's kid. The rental cost to make for the equipment, that will go away. But other than that, no, okay? We're still going to have to pay for the factory. So that's going to stay. That's just going to be divided among whatever divisions are left. So when we add up those, the total cost to make those engines is $1,028,000. That's $51.40 per engine. So that's what it really cost us to make the engines. $51.40. So if we can buy them cheaper than that, we will. If we can't buy them cheaper than that, we'll continue to make them. Now, the next thing it says is what would happen if our units went up from 20,000 to 24,000. And this is saying to you, really, do you remember what happens to fixed costs when production goes up. When the number of units goes up, the fixed cost goes down. So what are we saying were the fixed costs? Those. Okay, those 80, that 85 and that 23. So we have 85 and 23. So that's 108,000. When we were making 20,000 units, that was, hold on, let me turn on my calculator. 108,000 divided by 20,000, our fixed cost per unit is about $5.40. If that goes up to 24,000, so we'll take our 108,000 divide by 24,000, it goes down to $4.50. So if our production goes up, our variable cost goes up, our fixed cost per unit goes down. Just a little review of some of the basic cost terminology from some of the earlier chapters.